Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing tonight? How are we doing after the Sunday? I hope you had a good start to the week, and I hope you're looking forward to this game. Some of us are, some of us are not at all. But I hope you're well. Let's welcome in Ariane.
Hello,
How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Northern, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome.
Yeah,
Usually
this is
in the
me.
chat.
This is me. If you wanted to see me, this is
There
me.
you go, top man,
No
top man.
worries.
Oh, nice one, bro. Um, So Jarvis is coming as well. Big up Jarvis. But
Big
welcome
up
to United
Jarvis,
Real
man.
Therapy, people. How we doing? Um, after what happened on Sunday, I don't know if I'm looking forward to this game. I'm kind of what do you call it? I'm kind of dreading it a little bit because everything that we lacked in the last 3 games in the Premier League, Brentford have it in abundance. They have it in absolute abundance. They've got it in abundance and more abundance. That's what they have. So it's going to be a physical game. They got runners, they got power, they got pace, they've got set pieces, they've got press, they've got mid block, they've got aggression, they play with intensity. They have it all, people. They literally have it all. That's what they do. So it's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow night. And I don't know how some of you are going to see it, but it's going to be very interesting. But welcome to everybody. Welcome to Ariane for this first ever YouTube debut. And welcome to Jarvis as well. What can I say, people? What can I say? I think it's going to be a very tough game tomorrow. A very, very tough game. And if we win it, that means Manchester United have found their physicality, they found their aggression, they found their intensity. And if they found those three, Manchester United, then our quality might show through to win us the game. If not, see you later. Game over. So I'll go to you first, Ariane. What are you thinking for tomorrow? What are you hoping for? What are you thinking? What kind of a game are we going to see at Old Trafford tomorrow?
Yeah, sorry. Let me talk.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's going to be a very, very interesting game tomorrow. I'm expecting to see a response from the lads after that horrific performance. Um, yeah, and just like you said, it'll be a very interesting game tomorrow. And tomorrow, I expect Ten Hag to make a few changes and stuff and everything. You know, and Oh yeah, it'll be a very, very interesting game, especially Brentford, the form they're in. I know they drew the last game, but you know they play decent football. I'll be honest, I don't watch Brentford that much, but I know they're a good team. You know, especially considering they smacked us at the start of the season, which was absolutely terrible. But obviously, I've looked at the players they got: Tony, Mbomo, Henry, Norgard. They got all the players that can cause us problems. But obviously tomorrow we're playing at home, so I do expect us to kind of have an advantage a bit there. So, um, yes, I'm not really sure. It depends really what kind of team Ten Hag picks. I mean, if he picks the same 11 from last, I think we might be able to if we're playing at home. But overall, I think we'll just snatch it in. I think maybe a little 2-1. You're on mute, Nuruddin.
Welcome, Tom, as well. Big up, Arian. Yeah, that's a good insight. They've got dangerous players. They're full of goals. They've not lost in 16, but they draw a lot. They've won 13 times more than any other club, any other team this season. Jarvis, what kind of game are you expecting tomorrow? Do you expect our physicality, aggression, intensity to return?
Well, to be honest, no, I don't. To be completely honest, our team look finished for this season, or a lot of players look finished. They are knackered. Ten Hag have squeezed. We talked about the last time. He have squeezed the orange to the last drop. There's no more. So the next couple of weeks is going to be brutal in my opinion. So, but I really hope that, but Ten Hag can find a way to make this team going again. But the next couple of weeks, I think we are up for a really tough ride. And Brighton, not Brighton, but Brentford, really good team. They have a couple of players that are really underrated, like Arjan mentioned, Nørgaard, the defensive midfielder from Denmark. He's so underrated.
Yeah.
He knows where to be. He is always in the right place, and he knows how to play the ball. He was actually an attacking midfielder when he played in Denmark. I think he played for Brøndby in Copenhagen, and he was an attacking midfielder. But now he plays defensive midfielder, and he knows how to swivel with the ball, with the back against the goal, and swivel off his man and carry the ball forward. So for me, I think a key in this game to stop is to stop him, because if we stop him, then Tony and Mbuemo and the other guys won't have the ball so much. So maybe if Ten Hag can figure a way to do that, we will have a chance. Yeah,
it's funny. There's always one in it. ITN says, "Haha, we're beating Brentford. Calm your emotions. Why so high?" I think that's the comment of the night. Tom, welcome. Maybe you can answer that from ITN. ITN. He's saying we need to calm our emotions. Why so high? What are you expecting tomorrow?
Honestly, and I'll be real with you, I just see this as a 1-1 draw. I really do. I just see it as one of those games where I don't think we'll do badly enough to lose, but I don't think we'll do good enough to win. I really don't. I think, like what Jarvis has said and Arian's already said, where a lot of these players, I think they checked out after the cup final. Like, I think they're still in Wembley partying. Eric Ten Hag, Anthony Martinez, but are you still on the dance floor or something? Like, I don't know what's gone on with his team since then, but like it has seemed to have dropped off, and we can make the excuse about fatigue and things like that. But I look at Brentford and I think, they've got the psychological battle over us already from what happened in the previous game in the season, and albeit we didn't have players like Casemiro in that game either. So tomorrow, it doesn't really reflect any differently on the game. It's business as usual, as Eric Ten Hag likes to quote it and call it. But overall, I do look at a lot of Brentford's players and I think, well, Tony wasn't as prolific scoring as he was at the start of the season. It did take him a while to get up to scratch, but he did do. He got his England call up and everything, which was deserved. And they've got other players. Jarvis has said about Norgard. I personally like the fullback. I like Rico Henry. I think he's a good attacking fullback and get up the field, and especially on transitional play as well, can play the lateral ball over the top for an Mbeumo or a Visa, whoever's running behind. And I think as well with them coming away from home, I think it does suit them to play the way that they want to do, especially if they go for the same game plan that they did at their own ground, where the pitch is a lot more stretched. It's a lot more wider. You can utilise the pitch effectively to your own game. And in Brentford's case, where they want to win the second balls, and you win a second ball at Old Trafford, you could be on a transition, whereas you do that at Brentford, you might only win the ball in the middle of the field. So I look at ultimately the parameters of the game, and I just think, like, unless we're going to have some sort of magical Rashford sort of 2 or 3 goals, hat trick or something, like, I don't see where the goals are coming from. Like, we talk about Chelsea and we banter Chelsea for not having a goal scorer. Well, mate, we've only got one, and when he doesn't fire, we don't win games. It's as simple as that. And we don't have prolific forwards. Sancho
nice one, Tom. Just to get some match stats, people,
prolific.
just to so that you're in no doubt the type of form Brentford are in. Let's get into it. So just in terms of Man United team, Wan-Bissaka was at training today, so he was back in training according to a lot of the things what Erik ten Hag's been saying in the press conference. Obviously, Eriksen is returned to first team training, but he's way off yet. Garnacho, and obviously Garnacho's is out for the season, so is Donny. Brentford midfielder Shadon Baptista returns after completing a suspension. This game comes too soon for Janlet, who's back in training after knee injury. Frank Onyeka is ruled out by a minor hamstring issue, while Christophe Adjer and Keane Lewis Potter are ruled out. So they're missing a couple of players. It says here Manchester United have won. Manchester United have won each of their last 3 home league games against Brentford. A sequence or spanning of 84 years, scoring over 10 goals, conceding just 1. The Bees won this fixture 4-0 in August, find complete league double against Manchester United for the first time since 1936-37 season. Manchester United have lost just one of their last 22 home league games, winning 14, drawing 7, are unbeaten in 12 fixtures since losing to Brighton at the opening weekend season. The next defeat will be the 200th in the Premier League. Wow. This will be their 200 midweek fixture in the Premier League. Their win ratio is such a games is 61%, highest in the competition history. The Red Devils have lost 4 of the 8 Premier League games without Casemiro. So let me read that again. The Red Devils have lost 4 of their 8 Premier League games without Casemiro, 2023, compared to 3 of the 19 when he has played. Marcus Rashford has scored 18 goals at home in all competition this season, the most by a player at Old Trafford in a single campaign since Wayne Rooney. Bruno Fernandes has assisted 49 goals in all competition for Manchester United, more than twice as many as his teammates since his debut for the club to February 2020. Brentford's 1-0 defeat to Everton last month was their only loss in the last 16 top flight games. They've won 7, they've drawn 8. The Bees have drawn 13 Premier League matches this season, more than any other side. Thomas Frank's team have lost 5 of their midweek league games last term, but are unbeaten in 3 such matches in the current campaign, drawing Crystal Palace, Chelsea before beating Southampton. Brentford, who won 2-1 at Manchester in November, are vying to become the first London side to basically win, to beat both Manchester teams since Arsenal in 1991. They're one shy of the 100 top flight victories. Wow, drawing 66. And wow, losing 1-1-1. While a victory will give Frank's 100th win in all competition as Brentford head coach. Drawing 56, losing 67. Ivan Toney scored 17 Premier League goals this season. Only one Brentford player has ever scored more in top flight campaign. That is Dave McCullough, doing so 3 times in 26, in 1935 and 36. Wow. So there we are, people. That is what we're up against. Tom, come back. I don't know where he's gone. But that's where we are, people. Big up to everybody. Like, share, subscribe. I think, if I look at it, I think we are like 80 short of 7,000. If I'm not mistaken, 80 short of 7,000. So please subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video. We'll always do a full-term proper stream. So support the community wherever you can, people. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting game. I've just read out the stats. I think he's going to pick the same team, Jarvis. What do you think?
Well, I think Malacia is going to start, and hopefully Van Bissaka if he's injury free. But I don't know the status of him. Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Who?
Van Bissaka.
Oh yeah, he was in training after being ill. He should be fine. Today he trained today apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, because then I would change both the fullbacks. Just because Mbuemo is a really a good player man to man, so we need him on the right side from Bissaka to stop. Isn't Mbuemo the left winger? I think so.
Yeah, sometimes he plays on the left, sometimes on the right. Yeah, he's left-footed.
Mm-hmm,
He plays. Yeah, sometimes he's inverted, but he's a fantastic free kick taker. Manchester United cannot afford to concede free kicks anywhere in our own half tomorrow. Anywhere in our own half on the sides, they always go down. It's a tactic of theirs. They like to go down and get injury, their fouls in the corner, anywhere 40 yards out, 50 yards out on the angle, so they can make that angle. And they're brilliant in the air. But yeah. A few things Ten Hag needs to work on. 1, make us play better with better Casemiro. 2, win points away from home. 3, always make us earn the right to play in every game. Yeah, he has to. He certainly has to. He certainly have to. Yeah, he certainly has to. But Arian, where do you see this game won or lost tomorrow? Where do you think Man United can win it? Where do you think we can lose it?
I think the way we could win this game is probably, probably in the midfield, because, like we always say, games are won and lost in the midfield. And who I'd pick in the midfield, I'd probably pick Sabitzer and Fred, because they're a bit more energetic. Fred's obviously got the legs. So obviously we need to, go up against players like Norgard and stuff like that, even especially Mbomo, who can play both the flanks. Also, I forgot to mention number 10, he can play there as well. So we'll be able to handle him there. And obviously it depends really, how we go at them. If they they could try hit us on the counter maybe, or try go in transitions. But really, I think Old Trafford we should be really going at them. I think if we don't get the goal, if we don't score first in the first half, in the first 20-30 minutes, I think maybe we might struggle a bit. But overall, I think we need to really handle their attack as well, especially with Ivan Toney up front, because he can cause us problems as well, especially, and yeah, I think it's going to depend on the midfield really, and also the attack. So it's going to be really interesting to see what really happens.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, a lot of games are won in midfield. But for me, even before that, I'll repeat it again, and I'll keep repeating it till the end of the show. If we don't match their physicality, if we don't match their aggression, and we don't match their intensity, we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game, people.
100%.
And so you have to earn. Man United have to earn to win. They have to win the fight first, because football games are a fight. You have to win the fight, then you earn your right to play the football. Jarvis, where can we beat them? Where can we win this? Where can we lose it?
Well, our only attacking threat is on the wings. So we have to hope Anthony and Rashford have a good day and know how to pass their man.
That's their weakness. That's how they concede a lot of goals, and they give space sometimes. Even though that's their strength when they attack, they like to get when they attack. The way when I've watched them, what they like to do is they use Tony as a target man, and they get the 2 number 8s close to him for the knockdowns, for the second balls. Then what they do is when they're pushing up, their front 4 press you really high, and sometimes their fullbacks come inside in midfield, so to make sure they don't get outnumbered in midfield. But on the other way, you can get behind their both fullbacks, and that's where they leave us space. That's where they leave space. So
a game plan like that will probably suit Rashford really good if we can get the ball to him. So at this game, I would hope that Bruno starts in the 10, so he can angle his one-touch passes out on the flank to Rashford, so he can run, because that will probably be our only weapon against a team like this.
Yeah, big up Susie, big up everybody, big up United for life, big up Pulse, big up. Is it just me 43, Ilas? Everybody's here. Aaron Pandey, everybody's here. Hulk, Insane, all of them are here, man. Everybody's here. So big up. Yeah. To me, the way they play, the way they press as a team, sometimes they play mid-block, and then sometimes they'll go to low block. But they're very physical. They're not a passive team by any chance. They've got runners. They've got legs. They can run. But their set pieces, they've scored more set pieces this season than anybody else in the Premier League, and that's just incredible. Yeah, they've absolutely perfected that. And tomorrow, if for us to win tomorrow, David De Gea has to find some courage somewhere. He needs to go into his cupboard tonight before he goes to bed and look into his cupboard, look at himself in the mirror and find the courage to come and fight for the ball and not be passive. If David De Gea is passive the way he was on his line against Newcastle, we're getting smashed. Make no bones about it, people. We're getting another smashing from them tomorrow.
So what do you think, Nurdin? What do you think? Is it time to let De Gea go after the season?
I think so. Me personally, I think so, because I just need somebody who can dominate the set pieces. I need a goalkeeper that's got physicality and has got a character and has got courage to come and fight for the ball and collect the ball. I need that. I don't need somebody to be passive. He's a great shot stopper, don't get me wrong. He's had a really good season overall. But the way he dilly-dallies playing out from the back and creates the nervousness within the team, and the way he doesn't come out and command this area is two big things for me. You have to have good in all of them. You have to be a good shot stopper. You have to be good, decent with your feet, and then you also have to. The most important thing for me in games where we got teams like Brentford where they play to that, getting the ball up, you have to be commanding. You have to have good hands. You have to be a basketball player, really coming and collecting and catching that ball. That's what you need to be. That's what you need to be. And I don't see that. Again, against Newcastle, he was shitting his pants. And there he's like that to the referee. Other than coming out and screaming and getting the ball and then screaming. I don't care. Overacting. I need you to overact so you get the free kick. So it takes the pressure from the team. Other goalkeepers do it. As soon as they get touched, they go down. David De Gea just moans. He's absolutely... Fergie, when we bought him, that's what I'm saying. I need Fergie to go in on him again, because Fergie went in him. When we signed him, he was getting bullied, but he was a teenager, 19, 20, and he was thin as a stick. And after a couple of months, or almost 6 months, he was coming out, catching balls, fighting, being aggressive. Where the F has that gone? Where is that gone? It's just painful to watch at times when you're under the cosh. I'm used to the Van der Sar coming out, coming out, boom, kills it, demoralizes the opposition fans, demoralizes the manager of the opposition, demoralizes the opposition players, because they get the ball up, he's just there like a cat grabbing it. You can grab the ball, you can catch that ball, De Gea. You can catch it. You don't need to head it, right? You can handball it, mate. You're the goalkeeper, for effing sake. It's just, it's frustrating. Tom, where do we win it? Where do we lose it tomorrow? I just talked about a bit about the tactics. They don't overcomplicate it. They're very physical. They're very aggressive. They'll go to mid to low block sometimes, and by time then they set the traps for you in midfield. Sometimes their fullbacks will come into midfield to outnumber people, to get them that dominance. They hoof the ball up to Tony, 2 number 8s getting in and around him. Then their wingers come into play, and then everybody runs into the box. And they've got brilliant deliveries. Where you can get at them is with the centre halves and the fullbacks. That's where you can get at them. Arun, come back. So where do you see Man United winning this game tomorrow?
Where always the games, won and lost is midfield. And I think that is probably our Achilles heel, because of the players we have out via suspensions or injury. But with what you've just said, where you can get at them is via the centre halves. And by doing what you've said in that case, Nuruddin, I think we've got a perfect player who can play this game if he's fit and he doesn't have any injuries or illness overnight, and that's Fred. Because a player like Fred, who could do what, say, McTominay had done, potentially in the Newcastle game, where we played him more advanced, and you had Fernandes and Sabitzer, who were more as the number 6s and 8s in that case. If you want to go down the same sort of style that you did with Newcastle, Fred's perfect for this game. Use his legs, use his energy, enthusiasm, pressing from the front. He'd be perfect for the game. Sancho as well, I think, as another point in case for a game like tomorrow. I think the way he is as a player, the profile. And if we had a player like Garnacho, I think the directness to run at a player as well. Like, we need players who are direct tomorrow and who are going to, show for the ball, as we've said, but are also not going to be too scared in terms of running at somebody. And that's why if Martial, providing there's no sort of overnight hiccup and he is fully fit, we need to play him tomorrow. Honestly, we need to play him because I don't know what it is with Vegas, but he's blown off a lot recently. He really has, and we know that he's got his limits and everything. But even the work rate's starting to drop, and that's because he's played every single game since he's come here. He's played most of the international games when he gets picked for the Dutch national team as well. Like, he's had all these different factors with him. We need Martial. We said it and made the play last time that we need a player like that. But ultimately, the midfield, I think, is key because if we don't have control of the midfield at home, because that's what people are labelling as where we should get the win tomorrow, is because we're playing at home. If we
Tom,
can't
I can't
play,
hear you. Can people hear Tom in the chat?
yeah,
Can
I
people hear
don't,
Tom in the chat? Let me know.
I
Now
don't
I
know.
can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
We
on.
can hear you,
Maybe
Tom.
jump out and jump back in.
Can you hear him,
But
Arun? Ariane, can you hear me? Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him. He's fine.
Tom,
yeah, but
is it
just
me or
tell
is it you?
just tell
Is it
Nuruddin
your
to
internet
jump
or
out.
is it me?
Somebody tell Nuruddin to jump out. Just put in the chat somebody to jump out.
No,
Yeah,
I think
bro,
you
can
should
you
jump
hear
out
me?
and jump back in.
Me? I have to jump out, yeah.
Yeah, Tom said
Yeah,
just
tell
jump
him
out
to
and then
jump out and
back
jump
in.
back in, and I'll continue.
Yeah.
But anyways, the point I was making with it all was with the midfield itself, overall with the game and the impact that it can have from the midfield grounds and upwards, is going forward when you don't have a Casemiro, you don't have that physical presence that you would like to have and the calmness on the ball. Ultimately, playing another player who has that tenacity, but maybe not the physicality that Fred does. I just think Fred over McTominay in that same role that he played at Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle was the game for him because you have streetwise players like Guimaraes and Jolinton and who could easily just play him off of the park event essentially. Tomorrow, with what we've said with Norgard, where he's more of a creative defensive midfielder, although he does have his defensive capabilities. He's there to be got at. He's there to be pressed and pestered. And ultimately, if we can do that from the front, like I said, with players like Sancho, Rashford will probably be key tomorrow as well, because he's our only source of goals. Martial, even as well, to have somebody to play back to goal who you can feed off of, like we saw the little cameo against Newcastle. I just think something like that is crucial and essential for the way we will probably try and break Brentford down tomorrow,
Yeah.
because we need to nullify them to the fewer chances. But like you were saying with De Gea, even like there has to be some committance on his game, because we need to see something where he's either a sweeper keeper, which we know he's not, or he needs to be a commanding keeper. You have to be one or the other in modern day football. You can't just be neither. You either have to be good with your feet or you have to be a commanding goalkeeper. And at the moment, he's neither. And the only thing that we've seen is you're sticking Martinez over next to him inside the penalty box. That's the only option that you've really done to try and play out from the back. Because we know what happened when we tried to play the short ball from a player running from deep midfield with Eriksen in the first game with Brentford. And they pressed us, completely lost the ball, and blew it in the bottom corner. So ultimately, consistency has to be there from these players. But like I say, you press from the front, you use the crowd to your advantage in the game, and then, like I say, midfield has to be sparkling and spot on, because we ain't going to beat them in wide areas, because defensively we just don't have the capabilities, and we're not playing as good as we were 4 or 5 weeks ago when we had that brilliant defensive record. That's suddenly gone. So ultimately, what's the best form of defence? Attack, in many cases. And I think at Old Trafford, we need to utilise that to our advantage, especially.
Yeah, big up, Tom. Ariane, what do you think? Do you think I've got this funny feeling that he's going to pick the same team? What do you think?
Um, No, I don't think he'll pick the same team. I expect him to make a few changes. Especially from the fullbacks. The fullbacks on Sunday they performed poorly with Sean Dallow. In terms of the team,
in terms of the front, sorry, I meant to clarify. In terms of the front six.
Oh, the front six. In terms of that, he won't make too much changes. I think he'll keep like a few players on, maybe put a stick in, maybe Sancho there, somebody. But in terms of team, I think he'll probably stick with the same front line, I suppose. But maybe Martial can come in there, give us a bit of stability there.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got this funny feeling that Scott McTominay is going to play tomorrow because of the height and because of the set pieces. And I got this funny other feeling that Workhorse is going to start as well. And I've got another funny feeling that maybe Maguire might start tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jarvis?
Yeah, Maguire. He can do a job. He can do. I never feel safe with Maguire on the pitch, to be honest. But
you can't start the game, though, Jarvis.
We need to use the squad, Nuruddin. We need to use the squad. We can't play Varane every third day. He will get injured.
He just had 2 weeks rest.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's an old man. His legs can't handle three games and 3 days in a game. He needs rest. So yeah. Let Maguire try. Tony, he's a big striker, so maybe it will suit a game for Maguire to play against Ivan Toney, and yeah, in attack. I would like, of course, Rashford, but I looked at it, and Brentford are playing with 5 in the back, like a 5-2-3-2.
Sometimes the wing backs, the wing backs, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, at least they did last game when they played 3-3 against Brighton. So maybe it will be room for the midfielders to run through them. As Tom was saying. Playing McTominay a little bit higher to break up play, to stop Nørgaard and stuff like that will probably be a good idea.
Pick up Alien Tenno. Alien says, I'm there tomorrow, Nurin. We will lose reality. Wow. Somebody said this before. Hogan says this. If it's the same team, we're going to lose. So maybe Juan Bissaka comes in for Diego Dalot, who was useless. Shaw was also useless. I don't know why he got given a 4-year contract, man. It's unbelievable. Well, Arian, Tom, are you there, Tom? Oh, I'll go back to Arian. Arian, what players are you bringing tomorrow? What players, Arian? What players are coming into this team? How are you refreshing it? Does Fred start for you? Does Juan Bissaka start for you? Does Malacia might be too small? He might not play Malacia. I think Shaw might start because they've got giants in this team and they're so good in the air.
Like you said, them players that you said, would I start? Yeah, I would start a few of them. And also what you said on Malacia, yeah, I would start him. Even though they got big players, but to be honest, it's Shaw played, poor on Sunday. And when on Brentford at the start of the season where we were getting bad second half and then we took off Sean bought Malacia. Malacia was obviously our best player in that game. Showed a bit of fight, desire. That's why I'd start him this game because he can fight, he's physical, the desire. So I would obviously start Malacia. Wan-Bissaka, if he's mentally and physically well and he trained well obviously today and he's okay, I would obviously start him because he will be able to handle the wingers, like in Bomo and stuff, Wissa. Midfield, Fred, yeah, because of the legs, I would do. Also, of course, Sabitzer, I would. And them two will be able to, try. I mean, I know they'll try to control the game, but obviously, because of the legs, because Brentford are obviously a fast team, progressive team. And in terms of, obviously, we know Bruno's going to play because Bruno, says in his contract, he always plays every single game,
Yeah,
robust. And the front three is very interesting. I think most people disagree with me on this, but you know what? Even though he played Paul on Sunday, yeah, and I get it, but I'd probably just try out. Maybe put Sancho, start Sancho, put Sancho on the left, and maybe Anthony on the right, and up top, obviously Martial. That's who I would go with.
No
I know,
Rashford.
no Rush, yeah, no Rashford, because obviously he play. To be honest, I watched the game on Sunday. I looked at Rashford. There was twice he tried running in behind, but then he kept losing the ball. And obviously, I'm thinking, do you know what, Rashford? Yeah, half the time, yeah, he just doesn't do anything. And when he just, when under Only, when we were just playing Moments FC, and when we got that chance, we just scored. That's what it was like with Rashford. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, I'll just probably just bench Rashford and give Sancho a bit of time. Obviously he's just came back, and I would start Sancho, see what he does. If he plays poor, then just take him off straight away, bring on Rashford. And obviously, I would have played Virgos, but obviously Virgos was poor, and he's played every single game. He's tired. But then I'd play Martial, and let's just pray Martial doesn't get injured, because we know what he's like. You touch him, yeah, he just crumbles. But that's my team.
What about here from Insane, Java, Tom and Jarvis? I'll go to Tom first. Insane says Martial, Rashford, Bruno on the right for me. So Bruno on the right, and then playing Sabitzer, McTominay, and Fred in midfield.
Honestly, no. I'm not saying. I know I'm not being disrespectful to IQ Insane in terms of his comment, because I respect it, but we just don't have the midfield options to do that at this moment in time. We don't. I'd rather have a player that you can bring off the bench if you need to, rather than play all of the players that we have for the midfield, and you just shift Bruno out wide right. Because the only game this season where I thought Bruno was effective out wide right was when we played him for like 20, 30 minutes in that little spell in the Camp Nou, where he had a bit of a glitter and glamour up against Jordi Alba. That was the only time. Tomorrow you're playing against someone like Rico Henry, who you're going to be just tracking back the entire game for majority of the game. If you don't control the ball and you don't control the transitions and the second balls, that's where I just think Bruno in that case, yeah, he will track him, but then Bruno's all way in near enough the right back sort of zone, and he can't influence the game at all. And he's really our only creative midfielder that we have at this moment in time. And he's the only player really that has the outball, especially from midfield, that can kick us on the transition for the counter attack. Apart from that, we haven't got anybody else. So that's the only reason why I think Bruno has to stay centrally for this game. But if we are going down that same fold of what we've just said with a front three, I would just go basically with what we know, really. And what we know is when we played Rashford and Martial together, we know there is that chemistry and that connection. When he came on, he looked a lot more influential, Rashford, when Martial was on the field than Vegas, because there is that partnership to be built there, because they've built it for the last 3-4 years when they've been in the teams together. But that right wing spot, it is the dilemma, because I think Anthony, for me, I think he was our best player against Newcastle personally. And I think he deserved this game. He didn't play the reverse fixture because he wasn't even signed by then. And I think a player of his sort of quality will be able to cause those problems for a Rico Henry to think, right, well, I can't exactly bomb on as much as maybe I want to in this case, because Anthony will be able to dictate and control the tempo of the game. And then suddenly on the transition, you'll have someone like Rashford who will be flying forward. And Anthony's then the free man on the right wing. And we know he can always cut in and stick one in the top left corner. So I do think in terms of utilising Anthony as the right winger and keep Bruno central is probably integral. But just as a quick run through any other team anyway, De Gea's obviously mandated. For me, Shaw's been, I'll be honest, I think he's been dire. I really do think he's been dire. I don't think he's had a good couple of weeks. Red card with England, Liverpool game, I think he was mentally scarred. I don't think I've seen any of the signs of the glimmer since that free kick in the final. For me, I'd stick Malacia in there. I'll be real with you. I'd give him a break and I'd pull him out of the fire. Personally, I'd stick Malacia there, Martinez, Varane, and honestly, I'd give Wan-Bissaka a go if he's back from the illness and everything. I don't think Delo deserves to start. He's fallen off since Qatar. I'll be real. Right. Midfield probably picks itself. I would go Sabitzer and Fred and Fernandes for me. I just think Fred and Bruno can interchange when we're pressing and when we need to play more direct going forward. And then the front three, I'd go Rashford, providing they're all fit. Rashford, Martial, Anthony for me.
Yeah, there you go. What about this idea of packing the midfield tomorrow and playing these three up front, Jarvis? What do you think?
Yeah, you mean Bruno on the right, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? You know.
But then who do we have to bring off the bench in midfield? If that means McTominay, Fred, and Sabitzer all start.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I wouldn't start Martial first of all because he gets injured after 5 minutes anyway. So it's useless.
Oh,
you got to keep him on the bench and then play him for 10 minutes, maybe at the max. Maybe we can keep him for three or four games. So Rashford in the 9 for me. Not Weghorst because he looks knackered. He plays. He have played more football this year than the last 3 years combined. I bet.
Intensity, the amount of games he's played. He's not played at this level, this amount of many games for this level of intensity. With all these different competitions, flying there and everywhere. He's not played. Yeah. To me, in the last 3 games, he's gone. His legs are gone. He's just going through the motions.
Yeah. So we shouldn't overplay him. It will only make him worse. And we need him because he's not at the highest level. He's on the mid level. So if he drops a little bit, he's useless. So we need him to be at least in the middle level to function. But I don't know with Martial. So the only option is Rashford. And I know Arian was talking about Sancho later, and I wouldn't start him at all because Sancho has been a big disappointment for me all season. I don't know if he's he's kind of a different player than the others. He's like a rhythm player. So he doesn't suit our style because we attack with pace when we attack. Bruno, he always looked for the through ball and stuff like that. And Sancho, he needs runners. When he was playing in Borussia Dortmund, he had Hakimi and Guerrero and Haaland. He had players around him running, so he could just because he's very good with rhythms. He receives the ball, he stops, he moves, he stops, and release the ball. So that's his thing. And I don't see him functioning in this Ten Hag team at the moment. Maybe in 2 years when Ten Hag has his players, he will function. But right now he's at the wrong team at the wrong time. So for me, in the summer, it will be the best to sell him, in my opinion, if we can, because of his high wages.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Alex says I paid 300 for the semi-final tickets for Brighton game. Hopefully we don't get smacked.
Alex, mate, where have you been getting these tickets from? They're like gold dust at the moment. We are the FA's moving.
Good luck with that one, Alex. Good luck with that. You know that emoji. That's that emoji, mate. That's what that is. Back, we'll talk to you. Arun, what are you thinking? What's the team? What score do you reckon tomorrow? Where do we win it? Let's be positive, eh? Let's try to be positive. Go on, Arun. Try to be positive. Come on. Let's see if we can be positive, guys. Let's go. You go ahead, Arun. Ariane, are you there?
Oh, so what do you say again? Sorry, Nurdin, rephrase that.
Positive. How are we going to win this game tomorrow? Come on, let's be positive, eh?
Okay. How are we going to win this
hat trick tomorrow? Just shut you up, yeah?
No. I don't think it'll be Rashford hat trick tomorrow. I think we'll probably win this game, if Martial scores. And, because obviously the way when he plays, yeah, he somehow, makes our forwards play better. And also, if we had Casemiro, I think it would have been even better. But in terms of how we win this game, it's just if really Martial steps up, and if Rashford plays tomorrow, yeah, if really our key players step up. Yeah, and like I said before earlier on about the score, I think it'll just be a 2-1. It won't be like a result like 3-1, 4-1, because we're not a team like Man City where we play at home. A team like Brentford, we're gonna start dominating, smashing it. We're not like that team. We're not like that, Northern. Obviously we're gonna be like this where we're gonna start playing, teams like this, and we might get lucky with a 2-1, a 1-0 and stuff. But positivity, yeah, like I said, before, I think Martial, big players need to step up. And, if we score, then that's all.
Okay. Tom, have a go. You have a go. Where's the positivity, lad? Let's be having you, lad. Come on, Tom.
Where's the positivity? No, we did our celebrating, mate. The champagne's ran out. Run out at Wembley, did it not?
I didn't even celebrate over 2, and I'm getting punished for not celebrating the Mickey Mouse Cup. Why am I getting punished for this?
We got that hungover, mate. We got absolutely done over by a 7-up. That's what happened, didn't we? And then we used rehabilitation. We went from champagne to 7-up. But no, positivity.
I look at Liverpool. I swear to God, I watched them tonight, and I'm looking. I'm like, how did they beat us 7-0? How?
Yeah.
By the way, I've got this quote. I think some of Eric Ten Hag's press conferences come out. This is Eric Ten Hag. Are you listening, people? This is Eric Ten Hag. I quote: "When they Man UFC players can't get this passion and hunger, they're in the wrong place." And then he says, "We return to old habits versus Newcastle, but also there are fluctuations. People are not robots, but we have to act as robots, as machines. We have to expect and demand from our players that they match the standards." He says, "Man UFC players have switched off." I don't think so. So somebody said that they switched off since the Carabao Cup. We've had a tough program, but now they've had their rest. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. We're in the final stage of the season. You have to be physically, mentally fit. That's the responsibility of everyone. I trust my players to give a good performance and get the best results. They have shown it so many times. Arsenal at home, Liverpool at home, City at home, but also Barcelona twice. They can do it. Let's be fair. I know what football is. We're talking in the emotions after one defeat we had, but we're in the right position. The squad is doing that. And you can't talk about deficits. You can talk about deficits, but every squad has deficits. He says when Man UFC can't get this passion, hunger, they're on the wrong place. When you have strong opponents who play above their level, you have many teams do that against Manchester United, then you get killed, as we did on Sunday. Well, you know what, Ten Hag? Effing hell, you raise the standards as well. And make changes. If players are not doing what you expect them to do, get them off the fucking football pitch. Get them off the football pitch. I don't care if 20 minutes is gone. If they're not doing as you ask them, get them off that fucking football pitch. Go on, Tom. Where's the positivity?
I think you've just taken it, Nerd. Listen, sit back with your herbal tea, Nerd. Sit back. No, positivity. I mean, look, if we had everybody fully fit, if we had everybody fully fit, I'd say, we could potentially do something like a madness 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that. But I'll be real, I just don't see where we're scoring the goals at this moment in time to score even more than one, maybe. Unless it's a wonder goal from Anthony, or you have Rashford who just, scores for fun like he has been doing pretty much most of the season. And this is what I've said, where that centre forward in the summer, I don't care if we have to overpay for a player or whatever. That has to be the priority. And you know something, even if it's sacrificed getting any other players in the squad that we actually need, that is the most important part of the puzzle at this moment in time, because we don't have another player that can get to 20, 30 goals in the season. We don't. we used to have that front three that was progressing as a unit, but one part of the band went off when he went off the rails, and all the charges happened with Mason Greenwood. They had that partnership, Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. That partnership was through, fruition, and then you brought Ronaldo back and things like that, and it sort of derailed from there. Cavani left. Ronaldo's obviously left now. You had to get, emergency in, Weghorst, and we just can't hit a barnyard door unless it's from Rashford or Anthony, really. And even, in the Newcastle game, Anthony's shot was really the only sort of, I guess, like, chance that we had in the game, really. That was it. And it was literally straight at Nick Pope. No conviction, no power in it at all, no direction. But ultimately, the positivity, I just don't have it. I just see it as being a bog standard 1-1. I don't see us being absolutely dire to lose the game, but I also don't see us being superb enough or good enough to win it, because I can't see us scoring maybe more than one goal. And against a team like Brentford, I think they can nick a goal on a set piece. They can nick a goal on a second ball or something like that. I think it can happen. In this game, we won't win this game 1-0. I'll be real with you. We will not win this game 1-0. I would be shocked. If we went into the game, if we're going to win this game at all, you need to score more than one. And if you don't score more than one, we ain't shutting this game out on set pieces against these lot. We ain't. Because we saw what happened at their ground. These know how to play set pieces. They know how to ping around and physically impose themselves on players. They know, and we already said it before, that they have the height advantage on us. But if I had to go for my prediction, I'm sticking on, as I say, I will go 1-1, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Nuruddin. You're on mute.
Jarvis, it's up to you now to cheer everybody up. Come on, Jarvis.
Get the positivity going. No, for us to win tomorrow, Old Trafford needs to be at their best and get the players going. We have to set the standards from the crowds. And what I miss is I miss from the players, Martinez, like cheering on the others and the high fiving and the cheering when they make a block or stuff like that. We don't see that anymore. They have lost something. Some little thing of the spark is gone. And I want to see that spark again. And I think maybe the crowds can be helping to get the spark back. And of course, obviously, to win, we need goals. And the only way I see us getting goals is Rashford magic. He's the only player. If not Martial, do something.
I'm talking to Ezekiel, so go ahead. Jarvis. Finish up.
Yeah. The Rashford magic to score goals, or Martial. Maybe Bruno can have a goal in him if he has the day. But other than that, I don't know who can score the goals. Fred. We don't have many goal scorers, so I agree with Tom. If we win 1-0, I will be shocked. 1-1 maybe, but I fear that we lose. So that's for the positivity. I'm sorry.
Good try, Jarvis. Good try. Yeah. Ezekiel, come on, bro. Come on. Where's the positivity? Let me just get this. Nuru says, yes, my namesake says, why is Ten Hag defending Workhorse? So frustrated. Well, he's defended him because he's done a job for him, but he's just run out last 5 games. His legs are gone. I'm trying to explain to people. Workhorse has never played to this level, played so many games every 3 days, back to back in his career, traveled everywhere in Europe. He's never done that. Never done that in his career. Excuse me, the Turkish league is not that intense. I'm sorry to tell you. So that's why he's not frustrated, because he's done a job. While Martial's been absolutely sick now. He's done a job. But Ezekiel, go ahead, bro. Go on. Talk to me. Ezekiel, talk to me, man. Give me some positivity, man.
Positivity's in, lads. Listen, we're gonna win tomorrow. Don't ask me how, who's scoring. We're just gonna win tomorrow. I know that deep down. That's it, yeah. No, but you know what it is, yeah. Look, if you look at it realistically, this season, every time United have needed a result, like needed a bounce back, we have got one. To be fair,
Go
you
ahead,
know,
bro.
we got banged over by City. Got banged over by City 6-3. I'm pretty sure we come back and went on an unbeaten run until we lost against like Arsenal in the league, right? We got banged over 7 by Liverpool, right? And then we won our next fixture against Real Betis, right? Every time we've needed a big response, the team has provided with it. So who's to say that, you know, we're going to lose to Brentford tomorrow? It could lose, but from what this season suggests is that every time we needed a big response, the players have delivered. Last game was atrocious. Sancho atrocious. Rashford atrocious. The whole team back to front atrocious. But what they have shown us this season is when the going gets tough, the players do step up. But we've just seen a little bit now, a little bit of frailty in the squad. They're flipping too many games have come at us and we're feeling it really, really bad now. But we're just kind of waiting on players to come back. But I think if we win tomorrow, I think that's top 4 sorted. I genuinely believe that because all the teams around us are crumbling, man. No one wants it. Tottenham, shambles. Chelsea, Liverpool, shambles. I think Newcastle is realistically the only threat. Unless Brighton do a madness and just keep winning all the games, we just got to look out for Newcastle. And I think if we win tomorrow, we're all right. Because if I'm not wrong, haven't we got 2 games in hand on Spurs? I believe that to be the case. So if we've got 2 games in hand on Spurs, they're only ahead on goal difference. Listen, they're in free fall. So we should be okay. Win tomorrow, boys, and top 4 secure. God willing. No, I think you're on mute, brother.
Hey, some mute.
Yeah, yes.
Arian, is that how you pronounce your name? Arian.
Yes.
What do you think the score? Give me a score.
So I'm going with 2-1. I was thinking of 3-1, but maybe 2-1. I think we'll just get it.
Okay. Tom, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
I've said my piece. I've said why 1-1.
Jarvis?
Yeah, positivity. 4-0. Or
Are you
yeah,
going
we
to
can
Old
do it,
Trafford?
lads. Come on.
Are you going
Come
to
on.
the cricket?
Positivity.
Going to the cricket, Jarvis?
Jarvis, I think Jarvis has been on a whiskey tonight. Have you had a bit of sherry or a bit of whiskey?
I have 1 beer, but it's Easter.
Oh,
I have free time tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter to everybody worldwide. Ramadan Mubarak to everybody as well. Ezekiel, what's the score? Talk to me about the score.
Oh, God, bro. The score is going to be a mad game. I'm going to go 3-2 United. High scoring game, and it's going to be nail biting stuff from 0 to 90, bro. Don't expect an easy ride, but we will get it done, brother.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to quote Malcolm X, by any means necessary. I don't care how they play, as long as we get the 3 points. It's about 3 points tomorrow for me. 3 points. Big up Alfie. Alfie says, bro, Brexit UK brokered investment deals, Qatari wealth fund worth tens of millions. Talks have been held up with a few Qatari outfit be providing gas in the years to come. Where did that come from?
PR.
Has he been speaking to Boris Johnson?
If that's from Boris, it's all lies. Boris's party, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Man United players went to London, and they started on the way back. They stopped off Downing Street, saw Boris, started partying with Boris. When you party with Boris, nothing good comes of it. I'm telling you, Man United players since that League Cup final, it looks like they've been partying with Boris and his lot. Honestly, it's crazy, but it's going to be very interesting, man. Big up to everybody. Atmosphere is going to be massive. Hopefully, I'm going to be there tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Yeah. No. Oh, that's what they said anyway. At the sell the club and F of home. That's what we sing anyway. Sell the club and F of home.
Mm.
That's what
Yeah.
the chants are sometimes. So,
So Nurdin, I have a question. Did you see the Fulham striker after the red card against United?
Mitrovic.
games.
Oh yeah,
Mitrovic.
8 game ban.
He got an
That's crazy. I
eight
think
game
that's a bit
ban.
too much. I think that's a bit too much. I think 6 games. 6 games is okay, not 8 games. Not
It had
8
to be.
games.
It had to be more than the regulatory 3, though. I think that's the thing that a lot of people
Yeah.
said.
I think 5 or 6.
Five, I think, was fair because it's like halfway between, isn't it?
Yeah. 5 or 6 for me. At the extreme, it could have been 6, but not 8, man. It's not like he killed anybody. He just went like that a little bit to the referee. He didn't kill the referee.
Heat of the moment, isn't it? That's the thing. Same with Marco Silva. Like, what were you going to give him? What, a 5-match ban for the basis of what? A touchline antics? Like,
Has he appealed? Is he going to appeal it?
No, I don't think they're going to appeal it. No, because he already misses pretty much majority remainder of the season, doesn't he? I think he might play maybe 2-3 games, but that's about it, if my maths serve me correctly. But anyway, with Fulham, like, there is no real case to answer, is there? Because it's verbal. It's verbal on it's on the screen. Like, ultimately, you can't do anything about what you've seen. Like, they will try and pass it off as, like, you saw what Fernandez happened at Anfield and things like that. Like, they'll try and utilise different scenarios. Man United, we could have done that with Casemiro, but because it looked so bad when you actually freeze frame it, and the situation looks a lot worse than it actually is when you play the video clip of it, because the FA only go off of freeze frames, they don't go off of video analysis, and because that's how it works, ultimately, the Mitrovic thing, they only have to pause it to the point where he's put his hand on the referee, and they'll give him the ban of whatever they see fit. And ultimately, if they said 8 matches, that'll be 8 matches. It's only the same thing where they're taking the time, making their mind up over what the charge is that they're going to give Ivan Toney. And that's probably going to be even more prolific than probably 8 matches. Maybe 10, 12, something like that from the start of next season. But it's difficult to call with the FA because they've been so inconsistent. And the Premier League as well. They've been so inconsistent with anything that they've adjudicated this year at all. I wouldn't trust them with anything. And we've seen what happens with officials in Man United this season anyway. So, but a lot of these referees, mate, they need to get to scratch.
Did you see that absolute
Anthony Taylor.
prick Anthony Taylor tonight? Liverpool fans, 2 of them at least should have had red cards, second yellow cards.
Oh,
Fabinho.
Fabinho's the
Canate.
Yeah, Canate, Fabinho, yeah. It doesn't make any sense, but Chelsea have always said that. Anthony Taylor has something against him.
Tom, did you see the Matip challenge on Felix? If that was Casemiro, that's a straight red.
Oh, wow, of course it is. But it's Man United.
Not even a yellow card.
That's what we always persist against Man United. It's always against Man United. That's the only thing. You do that at Old Trafford, mate. You walk. You do that anywhere else, you probably get it off with a yellow card. And you'd be lucky even maybe not even to get with anything in some of the cases of what they did there. But because it's Man United and it's a certain player who's integral to your team, we know there's the biasness against us. We've had it for years, haven't we? We had it from all the other guys when you had Howard Webb and people like that in the league, Clattenburg, right? We've had it before, so it doesn't make much difference if you play it in full speed in the modern day era or reverted back to the olden days. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. But it's the inconsistency that does me with officials this season. It's been ridiculous. And VAR, like, we don't.
Has this year giving longer bans than usual because of the freeze frame? Because the freeze frame obviously makes things worse.
Of course
it does. Yeah, and like when they go and review it, like they get Dermot Gallagher on, say Sky, for example, like they get people like
Harry Kane last night?
Opinions. That's what I mean. Like you get the Harry Kane, for example, and then you get the Felix one tonight. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Fabinho, wasn't it? Like because of the height difference. Sorry, not Felix. Cucurella, for example, and Matip. With the height difference in the two players is in the actual situation scenario. Like they don't factor in the whole demographics, or they don't factor everything in the bigger picture. It's the same thing with red cards nowadays. It's not about what you do with the ball, or if you even connect with the ball. If you go through somebody full momentum and full throttle, and they go flying in the air with theatrics, mate, they'll ban you for 3-4 games like we've seen with Casemiro this season. It happens, and that's the problem. There isn't any consistency with the rules. It's the same thing with the handball rule. We can sit here and debate all night about handball. You might as well just let every player who plays outfield handle the ball in the box. It doesn't matter. Any single part of where it touches you on your arm, whether it be from your shoulder all the way down to your little pinky finger, they're going to claim as if it's going to be handball. It doesn't matter. But there's no consistency with any of the rules. And that's why at the end of the season, either you need to do something that you've not done before in terms of the Premier League, and you appoint new referees, a new batch of them, younger development referees who have been in programs, who have been educated on VAR because they've been brought up in this generation, not old and fashioned referees such as Anthony Taylor who have been here for decades. Like, mate, you can't teach an old dog new tricks in this case. It doesn't work like that. And ultimately, some point in time, it's the same with players. We talk about it in football. When a certain player gets to a certain age, you have to move them on and replace them. Referees should be no different in that case. When they don't play up to scratch and they make so many blatant decisions that are so irrespective, even when you have video analysis nowadays now with VAR, it's found out so many of these referees for the inconsistencies that they bring week in, week out. It's shocking. And there's no consistency with the rules, even with the rule book. So everything needs reviewing and rewriting because
And you know
it's
what? I'm
not
not gonna lie to
factual.
you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Premier League needs to scout for the best talent out there in Europe, the best referees.
I think we should just go and get the best referees from UEFA and in general, of terms of like European. You get people with qualifications.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do, Nuruddin, like Champions League finals, etc.
Let me just get this. Big up United Devil. Listen, no, it's just 3 minutes, so all you need to do is go like that, mate, and rewind it to the beginning. That's all you need to do. You can keep watching it. It's a stream, bro. I've got so many different things to do, man. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Let's hope. We hope and pray. That's what we're back to being. We're back to last season, people. We hope and we pray.
Come on, sing your song, Nuruddin. Sing your song. Come on.
We hope and pray. Oh, we pray.
Back
We
to
hope and
life. Back to reality. Come on, get singing, Nuruddin. Come on.
It's back to last season, man. Back to life.
Come on,
Back to
Nuruddin.
reality. It's reality. Listen, when reality check comes at Man United, it comes at you hard and fast. I just can't take it, man. Hopefully, I'll be there tomorrow, losing my voice. We'll be back here tomorrow around 10:30 for the match reaction, people. But love and light, people. Big up to everybody. Before we do that, there was some clownish Bloomberg. I told you Bloomberg clickbaits the fans as well. Bloomberg article today saying that there are some government ministers saying that they're concerned about Qatari takeover, potential takeover of Man United.
Oh my.
So basically, the PR company that represents Jassim said that they feel the support of the government and would not face any obstacles should they emerge successful from ongoing bidding process. So we'll see what happens. But listen, people, make sure you follow everybody. Let's get into this, yeah? Let's get into this. Make sure you go and check out at Ebola, Bola77 Jarvis Cocker. Make sure you check out Tom Journalist 1. Make sure you don't check out anybody like Ezekiel. He's always just on this channel. He's not bothered about social media. And make sure you check out, let me just see. Let me just go back and see if I can click on your name. Ariane, is it Ariane Rashid on Twitter?
Yes.
Ariane Rashid, yeah. At Ariane Rashid, yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah?
Yes.
So Ariane Rashid. It's spelled with an R-A. Is it C-H or S-H?
R-S-H-I-D.
S-H-I-D, yeah.
Yes.
There it is. You see that? So make sure you give him a follow as well.
Yeah,
Big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're like 70 subscribers away from 7,000. So let your friends know. Let their nanas know. Let her friend know across the road. Let Jill, let Scott, Let Bob, let Tom, everybody know. The other Tom, not this Tom. The other Tom. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Let them all know as well.
Wow.
But big up, people. Let Brian know as well, whoever he is, Brian. And Bob the Builder. Don't forget Bob the Builder. Don't forget Barbie as well while we're there. And Ken. Let them all know.
No, Lilith, I'm not.
They need to join the therapy army. But big up, man. Honestly, big up. Lot of love, lot of light. We hope and pray. I'll be back here tomorrow for the match reaction, hopefully with you guys. So we'll see what happens. But by any means necessary, Man United need the points. Or what I predicted is going to come true, people. What I predicted is going to come true. Because I predicted this. Because there's only so many games with a small squad. You can fly. It's the flying, actually. The flying that kills it. It's the flying that has murdered these players. Because when you're flying here and there and everywhere, that's why I keep telling you, I need to get out of this Mickey Mouse effing cup. Right? I need to get out of this.
Yeah.
Honestly. But it is what it is. Love and light, people. Big up, he says. Mupsy TV says, big up Mupsy says, I think top 4 is still achievable, but we're in for a hard work for us. We made it hard for ourselves. We always do. Have to win every game now, yeah. But can you see us winning every game, bro? Our away record against the top 9 is a woeful. We've got big games coming up against Brighton and everybody else, man. All the teams that are struggling, Everton. Listen, he's not an Albanian. He's not Albanian. He's not an Albanian. Don't worry, nobody's Albanian here. Peace,
No,
love,
I believe Albanian. No.
He's not Albanian. He's not Albanian, but thank you. Big up to all the Albanian people anyway. Big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification button because it lets you know when next live. Let's achieve, Let's achieve the 7,000 people. Let's go. We deserved it. We grafted it. Everybody grafts. Everybody makes a contribution to the community. You deserve it. We all deserve it, people. It's always we. It's not me, I, or whatever. It's always we. So let's go, people. Big up. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. It always has to be. Always has to be. Big up, Lilas, for our Albanian brother. We got our Norwegian brother here. You know what I mean? We got our Yorkshireman here. You know what I mean? We got Ariane. He's from around Manchester, Greater Manchester. And then we got Ezekiel. My boy just lives down the road. So it is what it is. Yeah, we were road to 7,000 people. Let's go. Big up to every one of you. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, smash a like on the video. Win, lose, or draw. Glaze out. Bank us out. By any means necessary, Manchester United must pick up 3 points tomorrow. Peace, love, light. Take care, people.